So I guess from school onwards, I always had an interest in biology and in learning more about how our bodies worked. And so I wanted to study that further at university. So I went on to do a biochemistry degree from that, which is all about looking at how our cells work. And from that, then I progressed into research. I guess my move into TSC research was a bit of a sort of a happy accident as such, in that I applied for a job that sounded really interesting, trying to find out more about this genetic condition. And yeah, it's been so interesting, I've stayed in it ever since. I don't think I had a specific career plan to be a lab researcher. It was more just that that was how the cards fell as I kind of worked my way through university and got some lab experience, realised what that involved through some summer jobs, and then moved through my PhD. That really gave me the kind of the bug for research and for trying to understand things that other people haven't looked at before and trying to find out new areas of research. I think that's what really kind of spurred me into lab research in the end. I think the most challenging thing is keeping momentum, keeping grant money coming in, making sure that the projects are moving forwards with personnel to do them. That can be quite challenging at times, especially at the moment with COVID and all the extra restrictions. That has been tricky, to say the least. But I think the most exciting thing about research then is actually getting to see those new discoveries, getting to present them to the audiences that are interested in them, and getting to see the fruits of your efforts in the end. Ooh, that's a good question. So I think it would probably still be something which involved biology and that aspect of science. Part of my role at the moment is involved with teaching with the medical students in the university, and I suspect I would still have a teaching element to my job, even if I wasn't in the research side as well. I also enjoy going and speaking to other groups through public engagement events, so potentially something along those lines, sort of trying to explain some of the scientific concepts to those who aren't so familiar with them. I like to get out and about outside. I enjoy going for walks in the countryside and through the forest and things. I also try and keep a little bit fit through exercise, and I just think that's good for our well-being overall, and that helps us kind of escape the stresses of everyday life as well. So I think in terms of inspiring women to stay in science, I think it's quite good at the moment. There seem to be quite a lot of women and girls coming through at university level in sort of biological sciences and medicine and those areas. So it's trying to just keep that momentum going and keep them interested in the research side. And I think that's where some role modelling can come into play. And there have been studies shown that if you can sort of show girls how a research career looks, that can help entice them into something they may not have otherwise thought about. So I think, yeah, it's just modelling how it would be, how the career would look, and showing them all the positives that that career can bring. Research generally, it's a really exciting area to be in. It has a lot of freedom to go down your own avenues and look at things that really interest you, and you think that can bring a big impact to patients. Specifically looking at a rare disease, it has its challenges, but I think it also has its rewards. And certainly with the TSE community, they've always been very supportive of our work. It's great to hear them speak at the conferences when we go to those. And it's really inspiring to hear the families and those affected speaking about their lives. And it gives us that extra impetus to research and bring forward our new ideas as to how we can go about better treating this condition and giving people the best quality of life possible. So in the next couple of years, at the moment, I'm establishing my research group, so it'll be keeping the momentum there. We've had some really interesting findings recently, looking at some TSC patient blood to find out what's different between that and people who aren't affected by TSC, and that's looking really interesting. So I'm really hoping to be able to progress that work in the next couple of years. Also, as part of my job, I'm working with the School of Medicine in the teaching side. So being able to introduce medical students to TSC as a condition through some of the selected components that those students can take, making sure that at least some of our medical students and doctors hear about these rare diseases as they go through their training. I think that's really important to increase awareness as well in the next couple of years.